Everybody, welcome to another special edition of
Shift Happens, week number 40. So we're sitting here. It may look like we have the same shirts on as we did last week,
Not true.
and we do.
Oh, good.
But here's what we did. We swapped pants, so we changed those around, and socks. Nothing else. We swapped. I mean it. So anyway, so we're sitting here with a special guest. You've been in practice like 100 and
32 years.
So if you were a dog, you've been in practice 200 long years.
Yeah.
So this is Dr. Dan Hagen, rock star, brother of ours from across the river.
Yes.
So he actually rowboated over here just for us because we're flooding right now.
That's
And
right.
you rode the wave over here because he surfed over here to our office to stand on the high ground. So I'm going to step off camera, and Slim here is going to do the interview, and I'll do background noises.
Amazing chiropractor. Anybody in Council Bluffs, come find this guy. Dr. Dan is phenomenal. But I'm going to let him tell his story of why did you become a chiropractor?
Well, I grew up with my dad being a chiropractor. There are 25 chiropractors in my family. And
Slackers.
Awesome.
But I guess my chiropractic story is my dad was a chiropractor in a little town called Primgar, Iowa. And I, as a small child, had developed a lump on my neck, on the side of my neck. And it was diagnosed as full-blown Hodgkin's lymphoma. And my mother had worked in a cancer ward in Davenport, Iowa, while my dad was a student in school. And she never saw anybody walk out of the cancer ward. Everyone that went in was there, and they were carried out.
Thus, back to last week's, we should take him to prison sometimes.
Well,
You didn't see last week's, but sorry, that's just me off camera.
all right. So anyway, they suggested that that I would probably live 6 months if I took chemotherapy, and but my mom said would probably be more like 2 months, and I would be very, very sick, and so my parents took the decision that that they were not going to allow me to have chemo, and that they would be better off, felt that I would be better off at home if I could just play outside and just have fun rather than be sick and the rest of my days. Well, another chiropractor friend of my dad said, you know, we learned from B.J. Palmer that no matter what you have, you need a good nerve supply.
True that.
And so it ended up that my dad had actually changed an adjusting technique right about that time and started adjusting me, and I had a lymph node on the side of my neck the size of a grapefruit. And so within 2 weeks of using this new technique, working my upper cervical, the Atlas, that's the one that turns your power on, that's the one that fixes your immunity.
Farther away.
It's Alice.
There it is. And so within 2 weeks, that big bump on my neck totally went away. My body broke out in severe eczema all through the body from all the poison trying to escape from that lymph node. And it took a couple years for the eczema to finally clear up. But that is why I'm here today. It was because my parents made a decision, an unpopular decision at that time, because if I would have died and not had the chemotherapy, my parents would have been tarred and feathered in that small town.
But here's what's sad about it. If you would have died as a result of what they wanted to do, it's acceptable behavior.
Yes.
And that's crap.
Absolutely.
Your parents should be praised for the decision they made.
Absolutely.
Praised.
I have to admit, I've known you for years, 3 or 4 years in Epoch?
Yes.
I feel bad I never knew that. I never knew that story. That's an awesome story.
That's an incredible story that, think how many lives you got to save now. Because you went through and now you're practicing for 3 decades. That's absolutely incredible. And the lives of children, the parents and grandparents that chiropractic can impact because of you and your story.
Well, growing up, being a child of a chiropractor, I got to see great things happen. And I remember one time I was cleaning out the basement of the clinic, and we found I found a bunch of crutches, and I found an armful of canes. And so I asked my dad, "Do you want to keep these, or do we throw them out?" And I'll tell you now, you can take those out, but save those 3 white canes. Well, why do you have 3 white canes back here, Dad? And he said, well, those canes were given to me by a patient. When he adjusted them, they got their eyesight back. And so I got to hear and see miracles like,
Holy cow.
like the Harvey Lillard type story. We've seen some hearing come back on several cases. Between my dad and I, when I practiced with my dad for 7 years after graduation, we saw, one year we saw 6 people get their eyesight back that were blind. You put someone on the table, you adjust them, they came up with their sight.
The white cane people mad at you? That sell the white canes?
I don't know, we probably put a crimp in their business. But those are the types of things I grew up with as a kid, and so when I saw that, when I got to become a chiropractor, those are the kinds of cases that came to us. I've got patients that come to me for cancer. I had a patient that came in from Colorado and came to have their blood transfused, and said, I don't know why I'm here in your office, but I came here for this medical procedure, but I'm over, I just feel like I had to come into this office. I don't know how they got from Omaha to Council Bluffs, but came in and said, I have a condition and I have a full-blown Hodgkin's lymphoma. Have you ever heard of it? And
Wow.
So we started adjusting this person, and she started to thrive, or she just didn't think that she was going to make it. And so she sent me a postcard a year later with a picture of her with a nice happy smile and say, look at me now.
The amazing power of the adjustment. Live your life without subluxations, without nerve interference. Miracles can happen. So thank you, our special guest.
You know what, if you
What's that?
think of that's what you can do with some of these cancer problems, think of what you can do with ear infections,
Oh,
earaches, colds,
Colds.
things like that. Sinus problems, allergies.
Absolutely.
I mean, we have such an open field on topics we can see.
it's amazing the power of the adjustment. Thank you, special guest Dr. Dan from Council Bluffs, swimming over here. See you guys next week.